Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. You have landed in Living in Union County, where we discuss everything you need to know if you are considering relocating to Union County or to New Jersey in general. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Clark, New Jersey. So if you're considering moving to Clark, you want to stay tuned because we're going to discuss the 5 reasons why people may not be considering Clark.
And we're not only local realtors, but we're actually raised here in Union County, so I have a really good idea what's going on within every town. So if you are kind of thinking about relocating here, you definitely want to stick to learn all about these 5 reasons why people are actually not moving into the town.
So just to give you guys some context, Clark is located in the southern part of Union County, and it's surrounded by Cranford, Westfield, which are really good towns.
Right.
It's also surrounded by South Plainfield, Linden, Rahway, and also Winfield, which I don't know if anybody even knows.
It's a really small town here.
That's a town here, but it's surrounded by a lot of areas. It's also bordering Edison, which would now be Middlesex County, so it's very central to a lot of places. But just so you guys know, Clark is very small. It's a very small suburban town in Union County. It's only like maybe 4 point something square miles.
Right.
So just expect that it's gonna be super suburban.
And that's kind of get against to our first point, is that Clark is a very small town feel. You're not going to get maybe of that city life that you might get a little bit in Elizabeth,
Right.
Or you might not even get like kind of the more newer style life like Cranford with the downtown area. It's going to be a small town feel, very laid back. There's a golf arena that we're going to talk about later in the video. But the cool thing is, like Laura said, it's surrounded by a lot of towns. So if you're not going to find it there in Clark, you might going to find it maybe near Cranford. You might find it in Westfield, two very good downtown areas, and you're gonna get that kind of feel in the surrounding areas.
And number 2 is that Clark doesn't have a downtown area. Like we mentioned before, it's gonna be a very small town, but what it does have is the Clark Commons, which is the biggest plaza in Clark. And that's where I guess that's going to be the shopping hub for everybody. Right. And even a hub for other towns as well, because it has the Whole Foods, it has the LA Fitness, which a lot of people, go to, even though there's a lot of LA Fitnesses in Union County as well. But you're going to find Marshall's there as well.
I was going to say that.
You're going to find your Chipotle, your Panera, Applebee's. Everything's going to be in that one area. And then across the street, you're going to have the Hyatt golf course, which also a lot of people that do like golf in Union County, that's mostly where they're going to go. And then it also has cool restaurants.
Right.
So even though Clark doesn't have a downtown, it still has a lot of things to offer, especially when it's surrounded by so many towns, right? Yeah,
so like I said before, you're going to have the downtown area of Westfield, Cranford. You're also going to have the Linden Plaza very nearby. It has a big plaza. You're going to have the Super Walmart there. You're going to have a Target as well.
Another LA Fitness,
AMC. So you're seeing that even though you're not going to have a lot of the big amenities in Clark, you're going to be driving distance for everywhere. Even within Clark, if you're not near that central area, you're still going to drive around. So a car is going to be crucial here in New Jersey. So if you are kind of looking to make that move here, make sure to reach out to us. Like we mentioned before, we're your local realtors here, your relocation experts. And we're dropping these kind of videos every Monday and Friday, so you're not ready yet, keep tuned. But if you are, make sure to give this number a call, text, or email. We'd love to help you guys out and help you make that big move here.
So when it comes to real estate, a lot of people might not consider Clark because it's a little bit more expensive than the other towns that we mentioned, unless it's Westfield and Scotch Plains, because they're definitely more expensive. Right. Westfield is already hitting the 1.1 millions for an average single family. And then you have Scotch Plains, which is at 730s. And as in Clark, it's going to be 690s or in the 690s for a single family. But it is definitely more expensive than, let's say, Linden or Rahway.
Even Cranford.
And now Cranford, in my opinion, has the downtown area. Right. It has good access for, commuters. Right. But we're going to talk about that in a bit. But this is one of the reasons why people might not consider Clark.
And besides the price range, you are going to find a lot of different kind of real estate in Clark. You're going to find colonials, Cape Cod, split levels, condos, townhouses. So you're getting a little bit of a mixture of both. You're even going to find new constructions in certain parts of Clark, because depending on the area, it's also the feel. The more you are near that in that central area by the Clark Commons, it's going to be a lot more movement. You might find some townhouses there. But once you start getting to the borders of different towns like Cranford, it's going to be a lot more suburban residential. And that's going to be the overall feel of the town. It's going to be that suburban residential feel, because if you're buying real estate there, just expect for you to get some of those kind of styles of the properties.
But if you're someone that is considered maybe like Scotch Plains or Westfield, and it's a little, over the budget, Clark is a perfect place, to start. And to bring us to our next point, another reason people might not be considering Clark is because it does not have a train station. So if you're someone that is relying on the train for commuting purposes, Clark might not be for you. However, it does not mean that Clark is not a good place for commuters.
Right.
Since it's surrounded by so many towns, you have so many options for other train stations in the other towns. The closest one would be Rahway and Cranford, which is only 2.5 miles from Clark, which is not bad. And then the furthest one would be Westfield, which is 3.5, which is also not bad. Now, if you're trying to get to the city a little bit faster, you might want to take the train in Linden, since it's closer proximity to New York. But it doesn't mean it's a bad town for commuters.
Right, and even it's going to be Linden or Rahway. Rahway does have a direct line to the city as well. So it's all going to be between maybe the 40 to 50 minute commute by train. And you do have a bus in Clark as well that'll get you into the city, or even Staten Island. I know a lot of people from Staten Island are liking Clark. You'll get into them within 20 minutes. And you're going to obviously be able to drive with the Garden State. You have the 109 and the I-78, I believe.
Right.
So you're going to have those different form of options. And you have, obviously, it's going to be tolls and non-tolls. When there's not tolls, a little bit longer commute.
Right.
Like Laura said, it's not a terrible commuter-friendly town. But if you're just looking for commuter-friendly,
if you want the train within the town, it's not going to be.
It's not going to be a town for you. You might want to consider even Cranford. You want to consider, like we said, Rahway. Even go a little bit closer to the city, like Elizabeth or Linden. So you're seeing that it doesn't take away the commuter aspect, but it's not extremely commuter friendly.
On to our last point, if you want the top 5 school districts in Union County, Clark might not be for you. However, that doesn't mean that Clark has bad schools. It's actually the opposite. It has really good schools. It's rated B, average school, on each.com, but it is within the top 10 schools in Union County.
And they're going to find 2 elementary schools, 1 middle school, and 1 high school. Clark also shares school districts with Garwood. They go to the same high schools, so you have that ability.
People might not like that.
You might not like that, and Garwood is a benefit for them because they get the affordability factor over there and over here, and they still go to the high schools in Clark. But like Laura said, it's not a bad high school. It's just not rated within the top 5.
But it is within the top 10.
Top 10, and that's all going to be dependent on each. So obviously it's their opinion, so you definitely have to do your research on that as well. But you're seeing that Clark is kind of a small town feel, small community, in a sense that most kids that go to high school together, are probably going to graduate together at the end of the
which is pretty cool, because I know like the bigger towns, that's not going to be the case. Like Elizabeth, there's just like way too many high schools.
And that's kind of like the benefit of like kind of living in a small town. And that's definitely where you're going to get there, but you're not going to shy away of all the amenities of the surrounding towns and the grocery shopping as well. So if you are kind of looking to make that move to Clark, Union County, or New Jersey in general, make sure to reach out to us again. Our number's going to be coming up any second now. We'd love to help you guys out. In the meantime, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell so you're notified every single time we upload a video. So you're definitely notified whenever we're dropping them every Monday and Friday. But hopefully we'll see you guys next week, and I hope you guys take care.